What's up everybody, Tony here from Tony'sHealthTips.org. I'm back at the grocery store and this time I'm in the cereal aisle, and I want to show you something. It's a marketing ploy that's used by cereal companies, which I find very interesting. Check out the eyes here on the Trix Rabbit. Notice that the eyes are pointing downward, okay? You're going to see this almost universally on cereal boxes. It's a marketing ploy because they want the eyes of the characters to meet the eyes of your children when they're high up on a shelf in the grocery store or when it's on your kitchen counter. They're looking down at your children and they think this is going to appeal to them. So when you're in the grocery store, the kids are going to point at the box and say, I want that one. It's a pretty slick trick. And if you look at the boxes, eyes are pointing down. Eyes are pointing down. Eyes are pointing down, eyes are pointing down, eyes are pointing down. Here's a new one. Eyes are pointing downward. We got Toucan Sam. Of course, his eyes are pointing down. We got Honey Nut Cheerios. Eyes are pointing down. We already did that one. We got Honey Smacks. Eyes are pointing down. And so again, this is a ploy that's used by the cereal companies. Now we know the cereal is absolutely loaded with all sorts of horrible stuff that we're giving to our children, and then they smother that with milk, which also has bovine growth hormones and antibiotics in it if it's not organic. But go ahead and look at these ingredients, folks. This is some of the worst of the worst. Sorry, we're a little bit out of focus here. Let me try to fix that for us. A little bit out of focus, but there's partially hydrogenated oil. There it is. There's partially hydrogenated oil in there. There's dextrose in there. All sorts of stuff that we don't want. But again, this marketing helps them sell it. When we look at some of the more adult cereals, you're not going to see the characters on the box. Instead of the eyes pointing down and the cartoon characters, they know that's not necessarily going to work on an adult. So what do we see instead? We see all these claims of health. Right? Daily value of fiber in here. Oh, there's whole grain. And that's how they're appealing to you. It's the same kind of thing. Instead of the cartoon characters, they're using these claims of health, and it's completely bunk. And let me show you why. You pick up this box here of Fiber One, and what do I always say? Look at the ingredients, not so much looking at the label. And what are you going to see in here? You're going to see all sorts of sugars a couple times. What's that? Sorry, I don't have another hand free, but what's that third ingredient? Sugar. Okay, how many times do we see the word sugar on here? We've got THT added for freshness, which is of course a preservative. We've got all sorts of stuff on here. We've got honey. I just did an article about how most honey actually doesn't contain bee pollen. It's just another form of syrup. And so we've got all sorts of problems with the cereal, whether it's an adult cereal or whether it's a children's cereal. So my advice when shopping for cereal is to get something like an oatmeal, okay? And not the oatmeal that has the stuff added to it. I'm talking about something like this, okay? Something like this, rolled oats. Honestly, it's not going to taste like much. It's going to be pretty bland, but you can then add what you want to it, okay? So instead of getting Raisin Bran, okay, go ahead and get some organic raisins on the side and throw them in, say, an oatmeal or something like that. Or go ahead and put fruit in there, or go ahead and put honey in there, but make sure it's raw, unfiltered honey, okay? And then you can create your own delicious cereal. So if you like those adult cereals that have the clusters of nuts in them and things like that, you go ahead, get your own nuts, crush them up, make sure that they're raw, make sure that they're organic, put those in your cereal, and then it's kind of fun, and you're making your own cereal and it's fun. It's a little less convenient because it's not in a box, but it's going to be so much healthier because you don't have the preservatives and the crap in it. So again, beware of their marketing ploys, because companies like this that I showed you, you know, this is Bob's Red Mill. You're never going to see a commercial for Bob's Red Mill because he doesn't have an advertising budget that, you know, Post Cereal or Kellogg's has on TV. And so these things aren't going to jump out at you at the grocery store. They don't have the marketing behind them, but they're so much healthier. Give them a shot. Add your own sweeteners to these sort of products. Take care, everybody. Remember, you've only got one body. You got to take care of it.